Greetings and salutations, folks, and welcome once again, as always, to another helping of Mr H's Hot Pot. You join me today with the lovely Mrs H.
Hello.
And today we've come to Merseyside and we're in search of the grave of the late great Freddie Starr, who sadly passed away in May 2019. Now, we've been searching all over for this grave, haven't we, Mrs H?
We have. It's been a mystery tour.
This is the fourth cemetery that we've come to look for this particular grave. Now, on Find a Grave, it states that Freddie is laid to rest at St Michael's Church in Highton, and I can confirm that he is definitely not laid to rest there, is he, Mrs H?
No.
Now, what has made this one more difficult, Hot Potters, is sadly Freddie doesn't have an actual headstone to himself. He was buried with his mother, so his name isn't on the grave, and that's made it a little bit difficult as well, hasn't it, Mrs H?
It has.
But we have managed to find it, or should I say, Mrs H has managed to find it with the technology of Google and a little bit of perseverance. So hats off to you, Mrs H. You're the one who's found this one. I would have given up after the third cemetery. All my research didn't count for nothing, did it?
No, I just think you like wandering around cemeteries, to be honest.
Yeah, there is a name for that. There is a name for that, people. And if you know the name of people who like wandering around cemeteries, please leave a comment below. Now, getting back to Freddie, as many people know, Freddie was massive in the 1970s. I think he came to prominence on Opportunity Knocks, and literally the whole country took to his wacky, madcap style of comedy.
No, I'm just going to say, when I think of the people that we could have had, we get a lot of people tried to get on the programme. I'll tell you, Adamant! Joe! Shout! Do whatever you want! Yeah! Woo!
We have now
one of the
all-time, ladies and gentlemen.
No, listen.
Sorry. Ow! My hairs!
Ladies and gentlemen, Freddie Starr. I said it. Thank you.
Even my late mother, Mrs H, the original Mrs H, she had a soft spot for Freddie, and she was very uptight regarding comedy. She didn't like dirty jokes or anything like that, but she had a soft spot for Freddie. Anyway, let's go and take a look at his grave, and we'll talk a little bit more about Freddie Starr. Now, Freddie Starr just seemed to disappear off our television screens about the 1990s. Lots of people, little and large, all those kind of cohort of comedians, they just seem to disappear. You can't put your finger on when they stopped being on our screens. They just did, as tastes seem to change. And Freddie, basically, I'm assuming he returned back to doing live shows, and unfortunately he was thrust back into the public spotlight when there was all that business regarding Operation U-Tree. Unfortunately, some woman made an allegation against him, claiming that he'd acted inappropriately against her when she was 14 years old, and Freddie went to defend himself with that. And I'm not really going to go into the details. If you want to look that up on the internet, feel free to do so, but there was never a trial against him, but he lost a lot of work, so he felt the only way to clear his name was to take a libel case against the woman who'd made the allegation. And unfortunately, his case got thrown out and it left him with massive debts. So he ended up moving to Spain, and that's where he passed away, sadly, like I said, in 2019. Now, unfortunately, the debts crippled him that much as he ended up a pauper. It's hard to think that he had gone from being this massive star, earning thousands of pounds, to ending up with nothing. And it was thanks to a funeral director, I think Michael Fogg, that brought him back here. And he had a service there at Prescott Church, which we visited. We was actually looking for his grave in there because I thought he was laid to rest there, didn't I, Mrs.
You did at first.
But this is his actual grave, as you can see. It's his mother's grave, Hilda May Bradford, formerly Fowle. Freddie's real name, I think, was Frederick foul. And this is where he's laid to rest, Hot Potters. Now, I'm not going to mention the name of this cemetery because his family don't want it made public, so I'm going to honour the wishes with that one. However, if you follow the breadcrumbs as Mrs H has done, you yourself will be able to find his grave. I mean, there's nothing here to Freddie, is there?
No, nothing to say he's in here or anything like that.
So who knows? You know, it's a funny thing with families, isn't it?
It is.
Now, what they did on his coffin, Mrs H, he was a big Elvis fan, and they actually had on the side of his coffin, "Return to Sender," you know, the Elvis one. So that was a nice little touch. I think he deserved more than what he got, personally. Like I say, he was a big star, and the whole nation loved him at one time. He performed before royalty and things like that, so it can't be all bad, can it?
No.
Such a shame. Right, Hot Potters, it was just a quick video. I know one or two of you have been asking when will I visit Freddie's grave. It was just a case of finding it because, like I said, they found a grave, it's incorrect. So I will state that it's not at St Michael's churchyard, and I'll just save people going searching for it like we haven't, wasting your time. But I think we'll close with Freddie's grave, although his name, sadly, is not on the headstone. Until the next time, from myself, Mr H, and Mrs H, it is bye-bye for now.
Return to sender.